Well, good morning everyone, and welcome to Adventure X. In this episode I'm going to be doing my first impressions of the Rally Raid Level 1 kit on my CB500X. So this is the first time I'll have taken it a little bit off-road, or at least on some unclassified roads. I'm going to start the loop in Kettleshulme in the Peak District and head over to Dove Holes and up to Winnats Pass and see how it handles. This is the first lane that may be a little bit tricky, unsuitable for motors, but I'm hoping it'll be absolutely fine on this kit. Let's find out. Here we go. Ooh. Someone stood in the road there. The sun is dappling the helmet. Thank you. Couldn't see a thing there. The bike is handling it beautifully. Oh, you just could not have done that with the stock suspension. Well, I'm hoping you can see this. I can't see a thing at the minute. The sun is right in my face. Just going to take it a touch slow. Just going to try and cross over. I can see mud down there. Ooh, there we go, that was the first track. And I would say that was a success. So I'm just going to head back down into Kettleshulme and then loop through Whaley Bridge and then head over to Dove Holes. Yeah, so I've had the Rally Raid Level 1 kit now for a couple of weeks. I went down to have it fitted by Rally Raid, by Adam at Rally Raid. Before the fitting, probably a month or so prior to the fitting, thinking about it, we had a good long chat about the different kits, and I had a good test of the bike they had there at the time, which was the Level 2 CB500X. And after the chat, after the test ride, we came to the conclusion that actually the Level 1 kit was probably right for me. So the reason that I came to the conclusion that the Level 1 kit was right for me over the Level 2, although the Level 2 does have its advantages, obviously with the additional length in the suspension and in the forks. Thank you. As soon as I sat on the Level 2 bike, I'm a reasonably short rider. I found it difficult to actually touch the ground. I was on the tippiest of tiptoes, and on the road that would have been absolutely fine, but I found that on the test ride that Adam did with me, the off-road sections were a little bit tricky. I mean, I was absolutely fine stood up on the bike, but it's when I became unsettled and had to put my foot down, it became a little bit of a challenge, if you like, to remain on the bike. Now, if I remember correctly, this is cobbles up here. Let's see, down into first. Find first gear, that would help. That's one thing I may need to do. The gear shift lever is obviously set for when I'm sat down. When I'm stood up, it's a bit of a reach to press down to it, but I had the challenge then of it wouldn't come out of neutral, or it wouldn't find first, should I say. There we go, no problem with the cobbles. Now even straight away in comparison to the stock suspension that comes with the bike. I mean, you could do that on the stock suspension, but with nowhere near the same level of confidence. The bike would be so much more unsettled. Somewhere on our right here is Toddbrook Reservoir in Whaley Bridge. Okay, let's head down into Whaley Bridge. Here we go. Just push my glasses up as they fell down on those cobbles. Just passing Chapel and Lafrith Golf Club. I'll be back up here next week actually playing with our society at work. Oh, thank you, that was a bit close, Mr. Kia. The sun is right in my face this morning. Already I can tell that on these back roads, obviously they're not the smoothest roads in the world, but compared to the stock suspension, this is much more composed. And one thing that I've not noticed since the changeover is on certain bumps you do get a vibration through the handlebars with the stock suspension, whereas I'm not getting that with this at all. Yeah, so I can definitely feel all the lumps and bumps still. The only thing I would say that does differ from the stock suspension, and that's purely by the nature of the spring, and I'm guessing how it's been designed, but it feels much firmer, much sportier if you will, and that is making it a little bit harsher initially on certain bumps, particularly the sort of smaller washboard type bumps. But as I'm riding a little bit more, that is actually disappearing a little bit, it's settling in a little bit. But I did notice that on the way home from Rally Raid, that it did feel a little bit harsher initially. Now, this is going to be a bit of an adventure. Just across the way here, I believe, is a track that we can go on, up around the quarry near Dove Holes. Let's see if the bike is capable of it. Hopefully, I don't get stuck. Time to stand up. I mean, this kind of terrain here would definitely be unsettling with stock suspension, with no shadow of a doubt. I just would not have attempted this before. Oh, hello sheep. Somewhere along here we're going to meet a quarry, and then we're going to have to turn left, I think. Let's avoid those puddles. Oh, the grass is a bit slippy. Still a bit dewy this morning. Tell you what, just for fun, let's go through these two. Oh, dead easy. No problems. Oh, pick a line, Andrew. Stay in the middle for a second. On the right, that was a bit slippy in the middle. Oops, some bigger stones. This is getting a little bit bumpier. I'm just going to have to stop a second. My visor is misting up, which is not good when the sun's directly in your face. Oh, and the indicator's on. The opposite problem that I used to have, I'm now leaving the indicators on. Blockbusters coming in handy there. Quarries are not play areas, duly noted. Let's head this way. I might have to stop in a minute just to double check the map. Well, I can hear all these little stones sort of... Oh, that was a big hole. Feel all these stones coming up and flicking against the skid plate. So it's definitely a good investment to have that. I'm just going to stop a second and have a look at my map. I don't think I can go wrong here on this track, but I shall make absolutely sure. To be honest, I think this just goes literally right round the edge of the quarry and then joins up with the road on the other side. Let's find out. You know what, a minute ago I was saying that the suspension was, or it felt a little bit harsher, the front forks that is, over lumps and bumps in the road. Obviously that's just my perception, but I can definitely see why they've designed the suspension as they have, because this is just a dream in comparison to the stock suspension. Oop, bit of a rut there. Tried to do a hop like a trials bike then, let's not do that again. I can't do that with this bike. And if this is the level 1, the level 2 must be incredible. Obviously I know it's incredible, I did a test ride on it, but even so, I didn't test it on this type of track, but this is very enjoyable. Look at that view. Plus on the test bike it's a little bit nerve-wracking when it's not your bike. It was also the new model, the 2019, which does sort of look a little bit different up front. The tank, or the tank area, is wider. They've added some plastics around the oh shit, what's this? Just going to take it excuse me, just going to take it easy down here. Oh, there's the quarry. That stuck up on me, I wasn't expecting that. I thought this area was flat. Yes, they've added some additional plastics to make it look a little bit wider at the front. Doesn't really serve any purpose other than to make it look perhaps a little bit more like the Africa Twin. And the geometry is a little bit different because it had the 19-inch front wheel on as standard. And that's one thing I did notice actually, with the 19-inch front wheel, obviously you could definitely feel the sort of gyroscopic effect that people talk about with that bigger wheel. But this to me feels actually more controllable on here. Maybe that's because I'm used to it and it's my bike. But in particular on the road I enjoy the smaller tyre more than the bigger 19-inch front wheel. But each has their advantages. The level 2 kit could absolutely stomp all over me if it was out here with me as well. This is a little bit stony. Let's cover the back brake. What a beautiful morning. I may need to stop again in a minute just to double check the map. I'm not using sat-nav this morning or Google Maps or anything like that, because the roads that we're on actually are well, although they're classed as unclassified roads on the atlas, they're not something that the sat-nav or Google Maps picks up very easily. So it's a little bit difficult to actually plan your route, so I'm going to stop in a minute and just make sure that I am in the right place on the good old-fashioned paper map. Put the visor back down now while we're travelling a bit. That used to be a track, but unfortunately it's now no longer available to us as riders, which is a shame. I'm just going to pull over before we get to the road and double check that map. I'm not sure which way we're going. Right, left at the end, towards Peak Forest. And that bit was great fun. I might do that on the way back again. Again, I've mentioned it a couple of times about the suspension feeling harsh and a bit firmer, but just coming off that type of terrain back onto the roads here, this actually now feels very smooth. Just double check the GoPro. I hope you've been able to see what we've just been through. There appears to be condensation on the inside of the protective lens. Apologies if that has affected the footage, but there's not much I can do about it at the minute. So we've just come through Peak Forest and we're now on our way to Winnats Pass. Cattle grid. Ooh. I think I'll be doing this loop more often if the next bit works out well. Ooh. Just put my foot in some gravel. That was a squeaky bum moment. I thought I was going over then. I'm very impressed, I have to say, with the suspension kit. Even on roads like this, on the stock suspension, even though they're not particularly twisty-turny, they didn't really give you that confidence to build speed. I mean, here now I'm at the limit, I'm at 50. Whereas on the with the stock suspension, I'd have been hovering around 40, maybe up to 50, but I'd have felt very unsettled in certain situations. Whereas here, it's a lot more confidence inspiring. I mean, this video is just my initial impressions, but already I'm blown away by the quality of the product. Mantor over there. Right, let's head down Winnats Pass. Down a gear or two. Why are they stopped? You can fit 2 lorries through there if you wanted to. Oh, there's a sheep, that's why. Speedwell Cavern on the right. Seem to remember going in there many years ago in the boat underneath the sort of underground canal system down there. Might have to do that again sometime. Or the underground cave system. We're just going to be coming into Castleton in a moment. This is an awkward turn, this one. Unsuitable for HGVs. Okay. Thank you, sir. Left down here. I think this is the left we need to take. Somewhere at the bottom here there's a right turn, which will then take us back up a track. Now the reason I'm actually coming this way rather than coming back down the route we're about to take is I did actually have a quick look on Google Earth, and Google Earth doesn't actually give you a street view on the track itself, but it does give you a view at the start of it, and it looked quite declined, quite a steep hill down with potentially sort of baby head rocks there, so I didn't really fancy coming down that with my first test of the bike with the suspension, particularly as I've not really ridden it that much off-road at all. So hopefully we'll be able to get up it. I think that may be the turn. Yes, it was. Yes, this is what I'm hoping to do. That did look pretty steep on Google Earth. We'll see if it's right. Visor up so I don't steam up. This could be pretty challenging by the look of it. It's going to be a first gear jobby. And my first dab. That was only because these tyres spun out. At the moment I'm on the stock Pirelli Scorpion tyres. I'm hoping when these wear out to go up to something like the Continental TKC 80. Ooh, loose rock. Tree. Oh, this is good fun. Let's not go up there. This bit could be interesting. Ooh. Stop, nearly lost it there. Right, let's see if we can get going. Oh, yeah. Some reasonably large baby's headset. Oh, right. Oh, I should have gone up that way. Never mind. Let's cut across here. Around to the right. Mind that rock. That was great fun. Whee. There is no way I'd be doing this with the stock suspension. Let's just get that back under control. I need a bit of speed, I'm slowing down too much here. Yeah. Oh, I'm just going to have to stop a second, my glasses have steamed up. A little bit of a scratch, whatever. Blackbusters did their job, that survived. Ah, yes. Now that is why the giant loop coyote bag, not the coyote, the Diablo tank bag, may be a good idea. Just held on with a couple of magnets, whereas the other one is held on with a strap. Whew. This is actually hard going. I think I need an open faced helmet if I'm going to do this sort of thing again. Oh, that's a good one. My throttle is stuck on. Right, time to get the toolkit out. That'll do for now. I think when it went down that's just pushed in a little bit, but we'll deal with that later. Okay, right, let's see if we can get off this hill. Yeah, that does need sorting. Fine, I'll go and deal with that when we're at home. I'm just going to have a little walk up here, I think. Okay, move those because they're right in my path. And straight up there. Is that better? Yeah, good. Momentum is key. These tyres are not right for this track. Oh, wheel spinning. Keep it going. Whew, yeah, I think some of that is my technique as well, is a little rusty. Just get to the top here. Yay. Right, let's just park up a second. That's a beautiful view. Whew. So that track was probably a little bit more challenging than I would have wanted to try on my own. There was a little moment there where I thought I may have got stuck, but it was all good. So little things like the issue with the throttle there. Obviously that was just a little tap against a rock at the side, and it looks as though it's pushed the bar end weight in a little bit, which obviously is making the throttle stick. So it's just one of those things. Make sure you've got the tools to deal with it on the road, on the trail, and I'll deal with it properly when I get back. But yeah, I didn't fancy going down that, and I'm glad that I didn't. I might try that again later on at some point when I've got proper tyres on. But just while we're here, the bike itself is, well, handling everything really well. The suspension at the front's really good, the suspension at the back's really good. The bash plate, I've heard it tinging little rocks off the bottom, which obviously has saved the bottom of the bike, or protected the bottom of the bike. Around the other side as well, I did opt for the preload adjuster here, the remote preload adjuster. So if I've got luggage, I can just crank it one way, or if I'm riding solo, I can just crank it the other. And that has been really good so far. Obviously I've only had the kit a couple of weeks, but it's already been a great asset. Definitely worth considering. Right, I'll check the map and we'll crack on. This sort of stuff, absolutely no bother whatsoever. Really smooth. In fact, this feels like highway compared to that little bit I've just been on. Make sure the throttle works. Yep, that's shutting off, which is good. Whoa! Come on, keep traction. Ah. I didn't mention it a few minutes ago, but the tool that I was using was the Motion Pro trail tool. Again, I mean, I've mentioned this in numerous videos already, but Juan has quite a good video around how to pack for the trail, and as part of that there was a section from Jenny Morgan about tools she carries on the trip, on the trail, and that was one of them, and it's definitely worth looking at that. I'm just going to stop a second. Whew, I'm a bit out of shape. Did I take the difficult line there? Yes, I did. I could have gone up the other side there. Righty-ho. Why-ya. Let's get moving. Momentum, please. Thank you. Trick there is to stay loose on the bike and just let the bike move under you. And I'm trying to keep traction, but these tyres on this stuff are doing a good job, but they're not the best. I'm just trying to keep it in a higher gear and keep things ticking over. Shaky, shaky. Yeah, but no way I'd be doing this with a stock bike. Absolutely no way. Well, this is great. This is exactly what I wanted this bike to do. Going up this end. Let's come over onto the dry. This is great fun. Found somewhere I can put the stand down. Byway, there we go. Always close gates. Off we go. Are we off to the right or are we through there? I genuinely don't know. Okay, this is what frustrates me about trail riding. There's loads of markers for footpaths, all that sort of stuff, for walkers, but absolutely nothing about the byway. I'm assuming it goes straight on, but I can't confirm that at this minute in time, so again, we're out with the map. Limestone Way, that way, yeah, okay, yeah, so we are through here, and then we take a right at that next gate. That track did used to be open to us at one point, but it's now not. I believe, I may be wrong with that, but I think it's now closed to bikes. Oh yeah, some very loose rocks on here. Slow down a touch. Now this road eventually should come back out near the top of Winnats Pass. And then I think I'll head back over to Dove Holes and do the do that quarry route again. So, the Rally Raid Level 1 kit. If you're just looking for an upgrade from the stock suspension, you're looking to keep it the same height, thank you, then yeah, it's definitely worth a look. Much better performance in pretty much every way over the stock suspension. I mean, I know I came unstuck on one of the tracks there, but that was down to me and my technique rather than the bike itself. That was definitely more than capable of getting up there. But yeah, definitely worth a look. I can't see past that smart car. Okay. This is where we found out if that little knock has affected anything on the handling. I don't think it has. Nope. So the bark buster there definitely doing its job on that little tumble. From my, well, I've added those bark busters since my little blowover, if you like, in Scotland. And even that little tumble there just completely snapped off the clutch lever here, so I didn't want to do that again, particularly not in an area such as that, because I'd have no chance of getting the bike out of there if something like that happened. I mean, even if you just use this kit, or even if you just use your bike on the road, and even in the corners like that back there, it's just so much more planted and it feels much more stable than the stock suspension does. Initial impressions, thumbs up. I mean, even if you're just going to use the bike on the road, turns like that there are just so much easier with this suspension. Okay, let's go and do the Dove Holes Quarry route again. No doubt this track does actually have a proper name, but at the moment I'm new to all this and I don't know it. Hello, sir. Nice little dual sport there. Just going to get to the top here and flip my visor up and misting up again. I can definitely feel these tyres squirreling around on this in this rut here, but even so they're absolutely perfect for occasional use on this kind of terrain. But if you are going to be riding a little bit more off-road or a little bit more frequently, then definitely a knobbier tyre is in order. But to be fair, this bike now is just so composed. No dramas. Might even get up to third gear. Maybe not. Here's that hill. Let's go down again. No bother. Yeah, so in summary, if you're looking for an upgrade to your CB500X, and this is a let's make that turn, that would be a good idea. Yeah, so if you're looking for a good upgrade to your CB500X, the Rally Raid Level 1, if you like the idea of the stock height and not making the bike any taller, is definitely worth considering. I mean, I had to be really honest with myself. I mean, I love the idea of the Level 2, but the shortfall for me was, well, literally myself, because I can't really touch the ground. If I had a problem now coming down this slope, I'd find it very difficult to get my feet down to dab and get back on the bike. I'm more likely to tumble, whereas being a little bit more realistic and knowing that actually the Level 1 would suit me better, even though I don't have perhaps quite as much ground clearance underneath the bike, was absolutely perfect for me, and it looks like it's a great decision. If you're thinking about the Rally Raid kit, do get in touch with the guys at Rally Raid. And I spent quite a long time in correspondence with Liz down there at Rally Raid, and also Adam, and I actually booked in with them for them to install the kit for me, because I didn't really have the space at home to do that. And that was a great experience. Well, Adam was the guy who did the install for me, but he lets you get as involved as you want, or not if you don't want to. So you get to actually see what's going into the bike, and you can do that if you have a chat with him, depending what parts of the kit you want, at quite reasonable prices, I thought, as well. So do have a chat with them if you're unsure about the kit, but definitely worth considering. Rightio, we're coming to the end of this track. I think that's a good time to wrap up the video. Whoops. Obviously this is just an initial first impressions of the kit off-road, and like I said before, I'm very impressed. If you like the video, please subscribe, maybe even click that like button down below, and hopefully there'll be more videos like this shortly, and I'll see you in the next one.